Good afternoon, B. I can't seem to hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh. BA, good afternoon. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I can't hear anything. Maybe I should leave and join again. Okay, can you say something?
Good afternoon, everyone. Can we hear me now? Olaitan, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can hear you
Oh,
now.
awesome. Apologies, everyone. I am so sorry. I really do not know what happened, but the setting was okay when I said when I when I created the broadcast, earlier on. So I don't know what happened, but I guess we are fine now. And I want to believe that everyone on the call can hear me now. I am so sorry. Apologies for wasting time and your data. So we'll just get straight into it so that we don't take, much time. We've spent, enough time already. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Olubusola Ajala. I'm the founder of Strictly Law Business, as you all know. And I'm here today to discuss with Olaitan Ojelabi about uh, SLB mentoring program. So we had the first, we had the cohort one last year during the lockdown. It became necessary that we had that mentoring program because we keep getting lots of requests from a number of people on, I get personal requests. We also get requests, on our official handles, and we also get email requests asking for mentoring opportunities. And the truth is I'm just one person, and there is, little that I can do. And so I felt that it would be nice for us to have a group mentoring program, and it was based on that we launched the cohort one of SLB mentoring program. And it was meant to be a 3 month, no, it was meant to be a 5 weeks mentoring program, but as gracious and magnanimous as our SLB mentor, Professor Ayodele Onu, was, we have that mentoring program as, I don't know if his plans is to make it a lifetime mentoring program, but it has gone on, and it has extended beyond the 5 weeks we anticipated or we scheduled, and it's become more like a 1 year mentoring program. And really, it's been really worth every bit of it. Participants have gained invaluable experiences. They've been able to unlock a lot of opportunities. They've had access. We even had the opportunity to, okay, the participants had the opportunities to also work with, Professor Oni on some of his projects. And it was a rewarding experience, I'm sure, for all of them. And today I have Olaitan Ojelabi, who is going to share with us briefly about his own experience with the mentoring program. And before I go on to join to welcome Olaitan, even if you can, though you can see him, Olaitan was somebody I met on LinkedIn. So I'm just going to talk about networking, also just by the side, I network a lot. I'm big on networking, but I needed somebody to assist me, with some part of SLB work last year. And was it last year? I think it was even 2019, December 2019. Correct me, Ola, so if I'm wrong.
January 2020, actually.
Okay.
Last year.
So I met Olaitan. And how did I meet Olaitan? I was just, scrolling through LinkedIn and I saw a brilliant article he wrote. And I'm like, wow. Because if you share your thoughts, it helps people it gives people, an entry it's like, a gateway into your personality, into the kind of person you are, into the quality of experience you have, or the quality of experience you can bring on board. And so I saw all of that by just reading Olaiton's article. And then I reached out to him. I said, okay, come, let's have a chat. I need you to work with me. And we had a chat, and we saw that we could work together. And so that was the beginning of my relationship with Olaitan before he became a participant at the SLB mentoring program. So Olaitan, it's good to have you here. It's good
Thank you very
to
much, B. It's good to see you once again.
thank you. And the funny thing is, myself and Olaitan, we haven't met in person. So our communication has just been online. He's in Abuja, I'm in Lagos. Our communication, our correspondence is all the work we've done together has been virtual, and Olaitan was really, really a very, good support for to me and to SLB, last year, right before. So Olaitan just going to share his story with us, his experience, and the lessons he learned, and he's going to encourage and inspire you that you're watching to join, the next cohort two, and like beyond, I like to say that the experience you're going to get, at this mentoring program is beyond the amount, it's beyond the money you're paying for it. It's beyond. So Olaitan is just so Olaitan, you have the floor. Before I continue talking, you have the floor.
All right, thank you very much, B. Thank you very much for having me. And I mean, a big thank you for SLB for the platform. I mean, this is a thank you that I've been saying since last year, and I still don't think is enough to appreciate what I got from SLB and then from the mentorship program generally. So, I mean, I joined the mentorship with very little expectations, but I mean, I can say that by the time I was done with the mentorship program, I got more than what I bargained for. I got more than what I bargained for, and the experience was a life-changing one. And one of the things that I still look back to today, and I appreciate myself for making the decision to be part of that cohort. That's the first cohort of the mentorship series with SLB. And the reason why the mentorship was particularly significant to me was because at the time when I decided to like key into the idea and be one of the mentors to Dr. Professor Ayodele, I was having a very low time in my life at that point in time. I had like some challenges like few months before then, and it felt like those challenges are actually going to get the best out of me and out of my career. I basically was struggling. I was struggling with a lot of things. I was struggling with esteem. I was struggling with even knowing what I wanted for myself. So it's just felt like the mentorship was a God orchestrated plan for me. And going into the mentorship and coming out of the mentorship, I mean, I can say that I came out as a completely different person. I mean, re-energized, the esteem was back, the drive to succeed, the drive to be one of the best in the profession was back also. So that to me was a very, very, very interesting part of the mentorship series. And I mean, initially, at the point of trying to like join the mentorship, I was in between, should I pay for it? Should I not pay for it? But I think if I remember then, I think it was about 10, 15,000 naira. And I mean, luckily for me, okay, let me just leave this out of it. But I was in between, should I pay for it? Should I not pay for it? And I had to like sit down and think through it again. It was right there and then I realized that, investment, self-investment, like investment in your own personal development is something that we shouldn't take for granted. At the long run, it's going to pay off. This is you going to be having the opportunity to chat, to interact with a professional, and not just an ordinary professional. I'm very sure many of you know who Professor Yodeloni is. And if you have the opportunity to work with that kind of a person, I'm sure it's something everybody would want to really grab. So this is just to say that personally, I would advise anyone that is listening to this conversation, if you have the means, just try as much as possible to key into this initiative. It's going to help
Sorry,
you.
sorry, Olaitan, I'll cut you there. I'll cut you there. When you say you have the means, I do not agree. I don't usually subscribe to that kind of sentence or statement, because really you may not always have the means. And that's what I tell people. I've done a whole lot of trainings, investment in personal and professional development. Most times I usually do not have the means, but I go out of my way to get the means. So if you're waiting till you have the means, you will not get anything done. So so I just needed to chip that in, so that people would
Yes.
understand that because there's a saying that when there is a will, there is a way. So people need to understand that most times when you have these opportunities, they may not always come in the form or in the manner or even in the way they usually come, or that they came before. The next time you may be seeing that opportunity, it may not be in that same manner or form, right? So when you see it and they say an opportunity is just would just maybe be in the lifetime of that opportunity, so just take it, as in lay hold on it immediately. You may not have the means, but you can always figure out a way to get the means. Please go ahead.
Of course, thank you very much, B. Perhaps that was a wrong choice of words. But what I'm trying to say is, there are sometimes when we are in between, okay, should I just take this and use for this? Should I really put my resources in this? So what I was trying to say is that it's a worthy investment actually. It's a worthy investment. I can go on and begin to count the so many things that I gained from the mentorship series with Professor Ayodeloni. Okay, I was trying to explain why it was so significant to me earlier on. So as at 2019, after the about final exam, so I was called to bar in 2019 basically. Um, I think it was the article that BA came across that I'm trying to explain here. So after the bar final exams, the results came out, and it so happened that I got a result that I never bargained for. When I never bargained for, you should understand, when you put in that work and all of those things, and you just think that, okay, everything is going to be in place, and you're just going to slide into the industry and then live the dream now. You all understand what I'm saying. But the result came and it was a shocker. So I was like, okay, it drew me back a little bit. I had done series of interviews before that period. I'd written tests, and all I needed was just the results to get into those firms and all. But the result came and it was not what I was expecting. It was not what
What was
everyone
it?
was.
So what was it?
Well, okay, so initially the result came out as 2-2, but I was one
So
of those
wait, no,
that
no, pause. So it came out as 2-2. So
yes, yes.
so I don't want you to fast forward. I want you to just explain that particular phase of your life and of your career. Then you can now share what eventually happened. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So, it wasn't an easy one, like I mentioned. So, I had to deal with a whole lot of things. Like, okay, like I said, I lost opportunities. Eventually, I got a job, and even getting a job wasn't enough. It means you have to do more than probably what you ought to do in the first place. Having to really like show that, I mean, it's not about the result. I have this content, I can do this, I can give this output. But of course, the result is also on the table. And the first thing everybody make reference to is your results. So it was a lot for me to deal with. So
Mm.
by the time I was joining the mentorship program, like I said, I was on a very I was on a very low level at that point in time. So the words from Prof were very, I mean, they were very, very apt. And it felt like some of the things he was saying were even to me. I mean, he had to like narrate how he himself moved from working in a tier one law firm to becoming a partner, how even as a partner is having to do more, is having to invest in himself, is having to make efforts just to be an outstanding practitioner, which he is today. He's having to do so many things. It basically made me understood that regardless of whatever might have happened in the past, whatever will happen subsequently is now at your own hand. You have the right to determine, I mean, you are in the best position to determine what happens to you subsequently. So this was really like made me understood that, I mean, um I can be in like, I don't know, you can be a tier one lawyer basically in anywhere you find yourself. That's just like the point. Anywhere you find yourself, you can be a tier one lawyer. So you don't just have to let your results limit you. You don't have to let people try to like push you down because of the result and all of those things. So acting on those words, I became a little bit more agile. I decided doing something that I naturally would have done that I just abandoned. I started writing, I started studying more. I mean, I started taking professional courses. I started investing in myself, like personally. I mean, my personal development. And at the end of the day, eventually everything tells off. In fact, there are days that you feel extremely lazy, you don't just want to do anything. There are days like that. But when you remember what you have to do and where you are going, when you remember how Prof rose from being an associate in a firm to a partner, I earned what he ought to have earned in 30 years in just 2 weeks. I mean, those are like thought-provoking interactions with him. So, I mean, it provoked me. It made me want to do more. Indeed, it made me do more. And I'm glad that at the end of the mentorship session, although it's not over yet, like BA said, it's a lifetime mentorship. What a privilege. So I mean, so the mentorship is not over yet. Technically, it is not. So, but
You
by
guys
the
are
time
getting your certificate next week. So it's you guys are getting your certificate this weekend. So we are going to be
no,
officially done with you guys by this weekend.
no. I mean, it's not. Well, BA might be done with us, but I'm very sure Prof is not done with us.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course, of
I,
course.
I, I, I now have access to Prof. I chat with him once in a while. I can enter his DM if I have like some things I need explanations on and all of those things. So we have that kind of relationship now. So, but I was saying by the time I was done with we're rounding up with the entire mentorship session. I got that call from law school that, oh, I mean, we made a mistake in your result. You actually didn't finish with a 2-2. You ought to have graduated with a 2-1. So I mean, by that time to me, the result was not so material any longer. Felt like I've left that stage, right? So it was just like an addition. Of course, it was always going to be useful. We spoke to Prof about postgraduate opportunities too, and all of those things. So I have plans for those ones. So The result was always going to be useful eventually. But what I'm trying to say is, at that point, I was no longer at that stage. I'd already moved on. I was already clear about my career trajectories. I already knew what I wanted for myself. I already know the step I want to take to get to where I want to be. And just so many things. I felt I was already like, I could feel myself once again. Yes, I could feel myself once again. So that was basically how the whole mentorship thing went. And to cap it all, I also had like the very rare privilege of getting a mention in one of Prof's book. I mean, you should know that book is, I mean, it's a worldwide read, and for your name to be mentioned in that kind of a book, I mean, come on, it goes to show how much you can get, how much values you can get from just that little amount that you're being asked to pay. So again, self-investment is something I always encourage everybody to do. I mean, everybody, it's just very important. You have to learn how to invest in yourself, even if it's going to cost you. I mean, at the end of the day, in the long run, in the short term, it's going to pay off definitely. So I do tell PA too, whenever I have the opportunity of talking about SLB mentorship program, I always advise people, please jump at it. I was having a conversation with my friend in the house on Saturday too, and it was still in between, should I pay? John is about 30,000 naira, is about this, is about that. I told him, I said, it's not even up to $100. I mean, it's not even up to, this is somebody that is working really. It's not even up to $100. I understand that you're not earning 250, you're not earning 200, you're not earning 300, you're not earning all of those things, but $100 investment for such a very long time, for such value, is not something you should even be thinking about. It's something that I think you would even be glad that you're getting for that amount. So, I mean, if you are on the session and you're still in between, should I not, should I not? Personally, on a personal note, I'm advising you, you should, you definitely should. You're going to get your value. And well, I don't know, B, I don't know if it would be right to say this, but you're not just going to be getting values in terms of what Prof is going to be giving in terms of advice, in terms of let me say, yeah, in terms of advice, in terms of direction, you're also going to be getting opportunities. We got some monetary opportunities, and in less than 3 weeks or a month into the mentorship program, some of us got the fee that we even paid to be a back. Like it was
You didn't
that
pay to
easy.
be a, you didn't pay to
Be
be a, you paid to SLB. You didn't pay to be
Okay, now we get to SLB back. We got our money back in no time. And subsequently, we're getting opportunities. And we're having to
so in
do
terms
so
of
many other
investment, you got what you invested back, and then you got,
more than.
okay, so you got it in like, was it like times 2 or times 3 of your investment?
I mean, I can't even recall any longer, but I know I got a lot from the session, like based on
So
opportunities. That,
guys, so
oh,
okay, so let me just cut you there. Sorry. So what Olaitan is just basically trying to say, and this may not happen. This may not happen in this, this cohort. It may not happen, right? Because we didn't even expect, we didn't anticipate it. But Prof just came one day, on the call, and for those that did not even attend that call that day, that was their own. It was their own. I don't know what to say. It was their own whatever. It was their own palaver or whatever. Bro just came and he was like, "Oh, you guys, how you doing? Okay, I'm feeling good." He didn't say it that way, anyways. But he just came and he just said, "Okay, how many of you are on the call today? I'm going to send something to you guys through Busola, and just send your account number, your account details, and everything. I'm going to send money to you." And it was, I don't know, maybe he planned it or something, but it was the exact amount they had paid that Prof sent. like, okay, everybody, we know the how the year, has been locked down and all of that. So I'm just giving you guys as, just,
Yes,
pilot.
that was even like the first one. I mean, there were
Yes,
subsequent
yeah.
ones too.
And then
I mean,
subsequently
so
also, so for those of you that know Professor Oni, so he wrote two books. He launched two books last year, or was it this year? I think he launched two books last year. So they got the opportunity to also work with him on those books. And if you look at the book, he actually, mentioned, mentioned everyone, who worked on that, book with him. They did some research and all of that. So he appreciated everyone who did that, in that book. And then aside from that, he also gave, as in he gave them thank you, thank you. And me, I didn't have the opportunity to work with him on that book that time. I was just greeting them. And the funny thing was that, like, he was sending the money to them through me. And they were deducting, bank charges for every transfer I did from me. And they was chopping the money. So, but that's just by the way. We may have that opportunity this time around, or we may not have. And I also need to mention that this time around, so we're having Prof, as our lead and resident mentor, but we're also bringing in other mentors this time around to also, help. So it's going to be very, very, rich, and a lot of things has been packed into the curriculum for this, cohort too. We have reviewed the curriculum, we've added a whole lot of things to it. So we're going to be having Prof and several other mentors, which we would reveal, as time goes on. I think I talked about one of them in my post yesterday. BSO, Mrs. Bukola Sheoloruntika. She's a John C. Maxwell leadership coach. And so she's going to be coaching. She won't be coaching, but she's going to be mentoring. She's going to be facilitating one of the mentoring sessions. And it's going to be a 2-hour packed sessions with her. And a whole lot of things about leadership, personal leadership. I've had sessions with law firm, principals of law firms who have actually, complained about the leadership attitude or disposition to leadership of some lawyers. And the truth is, while some have innate innate leadership attitude attributes and qualities, some do not. But it doesn't mean that everyone is not a leader. There's a latent leadership potential in everyone, but you only need to unleash it. And sometimes you need to undergo sessions like this, mentoring programs, training, capacity building opportunities for you to be able to unleash, the leadership qualities or leadership skills or attributes you have. So we're going to have someone that's going to help us do that. So guys, I think it's important that you take this seriously if you're interested in investing not just in yourself but also in your career, to take this opportunity. And if you're going to, for everyone on this call, right, who is willing to take advantage of this opportunity, I would give you a special discount. Just reach out to me, inbox. I'll give you a special discount. For everyone on this call, I can see some of us on the call, so I know, or just tell me, oh, I was on the call and it mentioned a special discount. I would give you a special discount because I know the value and I want everyone to benefit, to take advantage of this opportunity. So, Olaitan, my last question to you is going to be, so, you at the time you joined, the mentoring program, you were still undergoing your NYC service, right? You're still in the NYC service here.
yeah.
And I know that yourself and one other person that's was part of the mentoring program both served in the same law firm but different locations. And you guys were not, it wasn't just the two of you, there were other people that stayed together with you guys. But I understand that the particular firm you served with for a long time do not retain NYC lawyers that served with them. But this time they retained yourself and Samuel, who was also part of the mentoring program. So I need you to speak to that. Was it, did the mentoring program play any role in ensuring that you guys put up a good performance at work? did it make any difference? And was it did it play any role in ensuring that it was just two of you? How many of you guys were, how many NYC associates said with you guys? How many NYC lawyers was in the firm at the time you said?
Well, okay, let me start by saying that it's not as if for a very long time the firm has not retained, but it's like the retainment policy is more like what is applicable everywhere else. I mean, you
Okay.
have to like demonstrate excellence, and not just that. Because I'm sure like almost everybody I served with were actually excellent, right? In terms of work output and all of those things, outstanding guys and all of those things. But I don't know. Of course, it was not coincidence that it was just the two of us that were part of the mentorship program that were eventually retained. So I would not be fair to if I should if I say that the mentorship program didn't contribute to my output and what I had to go through in the firm. Of course, it did in a number of ways. I mentioned earlier that it kind of re-energized me and it gave me the esteem that I needed to put in a very good work. So yeah, it was a lot very helpful in that regard. We learned a lot from the program. We learned about office management. We learned about relating with the people around the office. We learned about leadership. We learned about good work output. We learned a lot that I feel basically formed part of the way I approached everything that I had to do within the firm. So it's contributed a lot to the results, the output at the end of the day. So yeah, it was. I'm very sure it was one of the things that the mentorship was designed for at that particular point in time. But I mean, we had people from different walks, we had people from different career levels on the same call, and we had words, we had instructions, we had guidance for everybody. I mean, I remember one of the things that we did at the commencement of the program was to introduce ourselves, where we work, what we're doing, the department we're working with, and just so many things like that. So there were specific words for everybody. So it basically, Prof basically addressed, Prof basically gave guidance to everybody based on their peculiar situation. So eventually, at the end of the day, the firm retained me in Abuja and then Samuel in Lagos and some other persons as NYC, I mean, after our NYC years as associate. So, yeah, it played its own role significantly. It did significantly.
Thank you. Thank you. So I guess do you still have any other thing to share with us?
Yes, I mean, just like by way of a closing remark, again, I can't say thank you enough for SLB and then to Prof, of course, for the time and effort invested and resources invested in us. And once again, by way of advice, I would enjoy everyone on the call to please see this as a course that is worth pursuing. In the long, there are short-term benefits and there are long-term benefits to these things. So, and you agree with me that mentorship is one of the things that one needs to scale a successful career as far as the legal industry is concerned. I mean, I always say that experience is the best teacher, right? But it doesn't have to be personal experience. So you don't have to fail before you succeed, and you can get it at your first attempt. And how do you get that? By learning from the experience of people behind you, by learning from the experience of people above you. So that way, you know what to do, you know how to go about it. So you don't have to, something you're supposed to achieve in 2 years, you don't have to take 10 years before you get there. So,
Yes.
and that is one of the things that you're going to get from the mentorship program. So see it as a worthy cause, see it as a worthy investment. And finally, I will tell you that if you are one of those kind of people that would, you're always very eager and anxious to pay for things like this, but when you are in, you won't show commitment, you won't demonstrate willingness to learn and all of those things. I'll probably advise you not to do it. But I don't even think doctor would be glad to, I mean, prof would be glad to have that kind of a student. So if you know you're not going to commit to the course, but perhaps you might have no reason to register in the first place. So if you're doing it, be intentional about it. And of course, again, see it as a worthy investment. It is very, very rewarding. Financially, career-wise, every area, it is very, very rewarding. It is very, very rewarding. So thank you very much, PA, for having me. Thank you, SLB.
Thank you, Olaitan. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you. And so, guys, I think we've come to the end of today's live chat. I said it was going to be a short one. Basically, I don't want to. I don't know how to actually mince words, but I'm just going to say that if you're interested in designing the career of your dreams, then SLB mentoring program is what is, you should sign up for the program, right? And don't worry about how you get the money. Don't worry about how you get the money. Just have the willingness to say, I am ready, I want to take this opportunity. And you would be able to raise the money, right? You'll be able to raise the money by the time you would have spoken to one or two people, you'll be able to get the money. So, yeah, and again, like Olaito rightly said, if you know you're not going to commit, somebody asked me, Bisola, what do I need to do? What can I do for you to mentor me? And I said, willingness, readiness to work, to execute. Because the truth is, I'm not going to spare anyone. You have to put in the work for you to get the results. Then you must put in the work. So, but if you know you will not be willing, or you will not be available, or you will not be ready to push yourself, to put in the work, then I would advise that we're not interested in receiving that kind of students. We're not. It's not for us. It's not about the money, right? So we're not interested in receiving that kind of participants, that kind of lawyer. But if you know that you're going to put in the work, you're going to be willing, you're going to be ready, you're going to be available, then come on, we'll take you. Just um, register, and I'll try to put in the registration. I'll try to put in the registration details in the comments here so that we can just go ahead and register. So just give me a sec. Let me try and get out the registration link, and then I'll type in the comments box so that we can register. Or do we have someone who can do that for us? Oh, Shola want to come on? Shola is here, and Shola is saying, "Where SLB?" She was one of our participants. Shola, do you want to come on? Let me know if you want to come on. I'll send you the I'll send the link to you, and you can just come on. Lawbox, Shola Akinjola Lawbox. Do you want to come on and also share one or two things with us about your experience? I'll be glad to have you. Come on, please.
I'm very sure Shola will have like a lot to say. Yes, you
Yes.
have a lot to say.
So, Olaitan, please, can you forward the link to her so that she can come on? The link I sent to you, can you forward that to her while I type
Definitely.
the registration link here? So, guys, that's the mentoring link. You can just click the link, and you'll be able to see all the curriculum. You'll be able to see everything, and you'll also be able to sign up for. You also be able to register. I mean, and if you want the special discounts, just send me an inbox. Send a message to my inbox. I'd gladly respond to you. I'll give you a special discount. So, Lawbox,
B,
are we having
I was going to ask, are we still eligible?
eligible for cohort two? As long as you register,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
eligible. Why not?
okay. Okay.
You can come. And this time around, we are having more people, more mentors. So, um, you'll be able to learn a whole lot. I mean, I also do refresher courses, so I would have taken a course before, and then again, I would go back again, just to still, learn. Especially when I know that there's a revision, there's a revised curriculum. Yeah, so I do that. So you're
I'm
welcome.
sure Prof won't chase us away.
You won't, definitely not, and we would give you guys, special discounts. I'd give you we'll give you guys special discounts if you're willing to. Logbox, please let's know if you are going to come on board, or else we'll just, we'll wrap it up because we are.
So I'll wait for her to join the call before I
Yeah, before
exit.
have you sent her?
Yes, I have.
Has she responded? Oh, she goes, yeah, you said you are here to see the link. I have the link is there. Can you see the link? Jude, she goes, yeah, Jude, can you see the link now? I have typed the link. Olaitan, is Logbox responding to you? Has she responded to you?
No, no response from her yet,
Okay, okay.
but I mean, she has read the message. So I'm guessing she's trying to join the conversation.
Okay, I'll just wait for perhaps 2 more minutes. If we do not have her on the call, then we'll just call it an evening, a beautiful evening.
Um, let people try to like calm because of the result and all of this.
Chigozie, Jude, I think you should see the link now. I'm not sure Lobos will be able to join us. So I think we'll just call it a good evening. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
very much,
Olaitan, for this
Bill.
opportunity
Thank
to
you.
share
Thank
your
you for having
experience. I'm
me.
glad you got, a lot of value from the mentoring program, and I do hope that of everything you've learned, all of the lessons you've learned, the opportunities and everything keep you keep them to mind, and you keep running with them, and also helping to pull others up, even as you also grow up the ladder, as you progress in your career. You also help people, because the good thing about all of these things is that it's not just for you to learn, but it's also good when you also share your your learnings with others. You also try to help other people also become better professionals, better individuals, by the reasons of the things you've learned also. So it's not just for you to keep your lessons to yourself, but there are other people you can also mentor with everything that you've learned. Thank you so much, for hanging out with me. Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thank you
you,
very much,
Lobo.
Bill.
Thank you, Chigoze. Thank you, Chukudi. Thank you, my SLB community family. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Ceci. Thank you, Jami Busari. Thank you, Tomilola. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry if I can't mention everybody's name, but I'm only able to mention the names of those I can see here. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so grateful, and we'll look forward to receiving as many of you as are ready and willing to take a chance on yourself to get into the SLB mentoring program called soon. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.